Good morning, all. I'm going to start the discussion on RPA process. Okay, as you know, as I discussed with you yesterday, I'm going to start new topic from today. The schedule will be the new topic name is. No, I'm going to cover RPA architecture. So this is the topic RPA architecture. This RPA architecture. Today is the first class for RPA architecture. So by using RPA technology, we can automate any repeatable rule-based scheduled activities with no cognitive decisions are required. So these are the some of the activities, right? So there are in so many BPO companies or HR processing companies, in so there are even in IT also. If you come across with any repetitive process, rule based scheduled activity with no cognitive decision. What do you mean by cognitive decision? Cognitive decision means which requires intelligence. Cognitive means intelligence. So with no cognitive decision, so which doesn't require any intelligence, any repeatable rule-based scheduled activity with no cognitive decisions are required. For example, batch updates, downloads. There are some processes in real time, where we track and change. Track and change means we check the status. If that guy has not completed, then you need to ask for the document. Track and change. Okay, so if you see these kind of processes in any industry, then the best solution approach will be you can go with unattended automation. Unattended automation. What do you mean by unattended automation? Your robot can replace 100% of human workforce. Your robot can replace 100% of the work steps can be done by the robot. No manual intervention is required. Your entire process can be automated by robot. But these are the these are the activities. These are the activities. If someone asks you, no, why you are running RPA course? Because in my company we have these kind of processes, so I thought of automating those tasks. The next question they will ask you, which tool is better to automate? That I will address now. First of all, try to understand, why companies are thinking about RPA, why they are moving towards RPA. Right? So some of the typical use cases in insurance domain, just for an example, renewals. There are some activities called renewals, cancellations, policy lapse, policy labs. For these are the some of the business processes in insurance domain, so which can be completely automated. So for these kind of use cases, for these kind of scenarios, so 100% unattended automation can be suggestible. 100% unattended automation, we can go for 100% unattended automation. So in RPA, there are two types of automation. One is unattended automation, other one is attended automation. When we go for unattended automation, when we go for attended automation, that is the discussion. Unattended automation ki eppudu vellali, attended automation ki eppudu vellali. So these are the points about unattended automation and attended automation. So any confusion in the first scenario? This is the first scenario you have to understand. I will email you this document. It's okay. It's I have prepared. Any repeatable rule-based scheduled activity with no cognitive decisions are required. Any activity which requires batch updates, any activity which requires continuous tracking the progress and chasing, these can be automated 100%. Robot can be automated 100%. So this is called unattended automation. These are the examples for unattended automation. So some of the use cases which examples from insurance domain are policy renewal process, policy cancellation process, policy lapse process, policy print documents process can be automated using RPA. Yeah, Aman Kumar, batch update means, for example, 100 people applied for the policy today. For all 100 people, one job will automatically run to give the policy. So batch means, so more than one people applied for policy cancellation, policy lapse, or any activity. For example, if you deposit check, so they will run a batch job to check processing. So batch means, in SR Nagar Amirpet branch, 100 people applied for the check. So 100 requests will be considered as one request, and they will run the batch job. It is not a terminology related to RPA. Okay, so this is one thing. So then when we can go for unattended automation. What is unattended automation? All the steps in the process can be automated. No human intervention is required. All the steps in the process can be automated. No human intervention is required. Everything can be automated. Everything can be automated. Then then we go for type of activities. Users have some repeatable tasks. So I mean, this is one set of activity. Next set of activity, users have some repeatable tasks, but triggering the decision of the task depends on the transaction flow. Means it is not completely, understand the statement. Users have some repeatable tasks, but triggering the decision of the task depends upon the transaction flow. Users have some repeatable task, but triggering the decision of the task depends upon the transaction flow. What do you mean by this statement? For example, let us say, based on step 1, step 2, step 3 is a decision point. If it is yes, then only this script has to run. If it is no, other script has to run. So that depends upon the decision. So users have some repeatable tasks, but triggering decision of the task depends upon the transactional flow. This, user has to invoke the robot to complete a set of the steps. So this is not unattended automation. This is called attended automation. This is called attended automation. So what do you mean by attended automation? Human intervention is required. So humans, will initiate the bot for execution. Complete process steps cannot be automated. Some of the steps in the process needs human intervention. Human has to start bot, or humans has to execute the bot. So why we are going for this scenario? So users have some repeatable task, but triggering the decision of the task depends upon the transactional flow. But this is different. Here, repeatable task, rule-based task, scheduled activity with no human judgment. But here, so at some point of time, so the triggering decision, so human decision is involved here. It is a repeatable task, but what is required? Human judgment. Human decision is involved. So there are two types of automation in RPA. One is unattended automation, other one is attended automation. Can you tell me differences between attended automation, unattended automation in an interview question? Guarantee interview question. Interviewer definitely will ask you what is the difference between unattended automation and attended automation. So for example, simple policy changes not having the premium impact, quotation calculation, and claim process can be considered for attended automation. So that we call it as the midterm amendments. That means, let us say you applied for change of your address. Your address is modified. You have taken the insurance policy. Your address is modified. Then you applied for a request for address change. This cannot be fully automated, because are you real customer or not, some decision is involved. For example, your address is modified from India to US. then that has to be rejected to update in the records of insurance policy, right? So some decision is involved. It cannot be fully automated. It can be automated, but it is attended automation. Some steps has to be done manually, some steps can be automated. Any questions, any confusion you have? So how many types of automation we have? Not only RPA, not only RPA. This is a general automation concept. There are two types of automation. One is unattended automation, other one is attended automation. Okay. So now the third category. Now the third category. Users has to complete transactions in multiple systems. Poor end customer experience due to long average handling time. You know, this is also can be automated. Users has to complete transactions in multiple systems. For example, you are a bank employee. Some if some request comes, you have to connect it to 3 4 systems. Systems means not physical computer. Systems means user has to connect to different applications. User has connected to different applications, so he has to extract data from web application, SAP application, mainframe application. So he has to connect it to multiple applications in very short time. This is one fundamental problem with the end users. You go to bank or insurance company, sometimes they will tell you, sir, this request processing will take more time. Why more time? Someone has to connect to different applications, get the data, process it, give it back to you. This is one major issue in BPO companies or any request based companies, service based companies, right? So users has to complete a transaction in multiple systems. Poor end customer experience, because customer will get irritated. So if they tell you, sorry, so we open your account, but wait, so you have to wait at least 1 week, next week you come to our office. So poor customer experience, because due to long average handling time. So that your users are taking more time, because why they are taking more time? They're extracting the data from more than one system. They're extracting the data from more than one system. So that's why they're getting irritated. So to avoid this, it is better to automate. By using there are some technologies, mashup screen. Okay, mashup screen. So even this scenario also can be automated. This is also one activity which is eligible for RPA automation. It can be attended or unattended. That depends upon the human judgment. If your process steps has more decision making, then that cannot be unattended. I mean, that cannot be unattended. That can be attended. Less number of decisions than attended. So mashup screen means extracting the data from multiple systems in a single view. You have the data in different systems. It will be represented as a single view. That is also one RPA tool. For that purpose, there are some RPA tools are available. Especially this kind of mashup screens are used in news reading. So for news reader, there will be different systems which gives you international news, sports news kind of thing. All these different views will be presented as a single view, so that he need not to open all the machines. Different systems are not required to open. So example, survey, mailboxes, replacement policies. Okay, these are the some of the use cases in insurance domain. So these are try to understand different activities which can be eligible for automation. Not only RPA tools, these things can be automated by using mini bots. Mini bots means VB script, Excel macro, these kind of things. Or can be automated by RPA tools, or can be automated by cognitive tools, or can be automated by cognitive tools. So where we can use mini bot, where we can use RPA bot, where we can use chatbot, that depends upon the use case you are automating. So you should know mini bot means VB scripting. You should know RPA bot means anyone Blue Prism or automation anywhere this kind of tools. And third one, you should know artificial intelligence to develop chatbot at least. So you must have knowledge on one mini bot, one RPA bot, one cognitive bot. Okay, so I thought of giving this introduction, so you will understand the more clarity. You will get more clarity about RPA. And in RPA projects, these are the cost components. Basically, setup cost, implementation effort is required, infrastructure setup is required, license cost is required. Implementation effort means development, infrastructure setup is required, licensing cost is required, support cost is required. And again, so while running the process, so basically these are the costs involved in RPA project. So if your company gets any RPA project, these are the costs involved in RPA project, setup cost and run cost. Setup cost is required, run cost is required, where you can see license cost, support cost, infrastructure cost. So all these costs are required. Okay, then right. So then client dependencies. Actually, if you start working in RPA project, so there are some dependencies. There are some dependencies from the client. For example, you started implementing RPA project to HSBC. So there are some dependencies we have from HSBC. It is not like you write a Java program. So RPA is a custom code development. So we are depending on the client for certain things, especially. So one thing, alignment of the downtime. So not client dependency, but area to understand the align with estimation on how much RPA benefit. See, alignment of downtime means a very simple example I will give you. You automated a web application. You automated a web application, but that a web application will not work after 6 o'clock. That is client rule actually. Web application will work only 8 hours. That's how they designed the application. After that, so they are shut down. They are doing the shutdown of the server. The application is available 8 hours. That's how the application is designed. You automated with RPA. You have done automation with RPA. Excellent. But so you cannot see the real value of RPA because your bot can work for 24 by 7, but application is not available for 24 by 7. So you bot is equal to human here. In this case, bot is equal to human. When you can see the real benefit of the bot, when you can see the real benefit of the bot, if you automate, so bot can work 24 by 7, human can work only 8 hours per day. But your bot is ready to execute 24 by 7, but unfortunately your application is down. This is one dependency from the client. So you have to educate your client saying that if it is possible, the application we automated, the systems we automated must be available throughout the day. Then you will get more productivity, then you will get more RPA productivity. So not client dependency, but 24 by 7 our application should be available. Then you can see the real value of the RPA automation. Then the next one is system accounts and licenses. Okay, so system accounts and licenses, your client has to provide enough licenses. Your client has to provide enough licenses, and your client has to provide dev and test environment. Because the main problem with RPA projects in my real time experience, the main problem is clients are giving access. I'm the RPA developer, I'm going to automate some process. Clients are giving access of dev environment or test environment, but they're executing the process in the production environment. Dev and test environments are having different settings. Dev and test environments, we are using different data. Dev and sometimes even process steps are also different. So remember one thing, you know, remember one thing. Dev and test environments, are you are a RPA developer. So when you are automating anything, always try to automate in production environment. If production environment access is not given to you, ask for the exactly similar environment of for RPA development. So we need a similar production like environment for automation, because the script which you are going to write, it is going to run in production. So I need a similar environment for development of the automation. So don't try to do RPA development in dev and see, you have to do in dev and test environment, but those dev and test environments are must be similar to development, and test environments are must be similar to production. So all this information we need to get from the client. These all are the dependencies from the client we have. And tested data. This is one major challenge in RPA implementations. Sometimes the script which we automated, we are testing with sample records, but with sample records the script is working. But if you are deploying that script in the production, the scripts are failing, bots are failing. So bots are failing. So that is the problem. So sufficient volume and quality of test data is required to test the bot performance, to test how bot is executing the process, to test how bot is executing the process. Sufficient volume and quality of test data are important. Sufficient volume and quality of test data is important. Alignment of downtime, infrastructure, client security. So there are so many things. For example, infrastructure provision means they have to provide us in which server we are going to deploy the RPA. They have to set up the server. Client has to set up the server, and client has to agree with our security. So RPA, so generally RPA security feature I will discuss. So like this, even client has to provide a dedicated subject matter expert who can guide us on the process while developing the script. So client has to guide us, the dedicated subject matter expert. So these are the some of the dependencies we have in RPA project. You need to ensure if you are going to implement any RPA, you have to ensure that so you need sufficient, you get sufficient information from these points from the client. I will send you this document as an email. Soft copy I will send you. Right. So this is a basic introduction. This is the basic introduction I can say for RPA implement. So to start RPA. Just I thought of explaining you this. The next topic is, as we discussed, so we'll slowly move on to RPA architecture. So and mainly that today I'm going to address a topic called RPA tools comparison. See, in any RPA project, so most important questions are uh, here I will write at least top 5 questions, right? So top 5 questions in client's mind. The first question is, so can we automate this process? Can we automate this process? You will be having Bhargavi answer to your question, which environment an RPA developer will be working in a real-time scenario. Step 1, you have to take KT from the production environment. Step 2, you automate in a RPA separate environment will be given to you. That environment should be equal to production environment, like a pre-production. Because if you automate in a completely different environment, your script may not run perfectly in the production. So dedicated infrastructure setup will be given to RPA. That is the question, but that infrastructure should be equal to production. So can we automate this process? So if it is a fresh and new RPA project, Then clients are asking these questions: can we automate this process? If yes, tell me the process. So if yes, can we automate this process? If yes, right? If yes, tell me the process, how you automate it. Can you automate this process? If yes, tell me the process, how you automate it. Can we automate this process? If yes, tell me the process, how you automate it. The next question: if yes, tell me what is the benefit of automation. If yes, tell me what is the benefit of automation. If yes, tell me the project cost. Tell me the project estimation. Not only cost, project estimation. So, project, if yes, tell me the project estimation in terms of schedule, in terms of resources. So tell me the project estimation in terms of budget. Okay. The next question will be, try to understand the questions. Then we'll go to answers. The next question will be, tell me how many licenses I need. Tell me how many licenses I need to purchase. Tell me how many licenses I have to take. And the next question will be, tell me which tool is better and why. What is the reason? You are suggesting which, automation event. Which tool is better? Why you are suggesting that tool? And tell me what are the, what are the points, we need to understand to set up RPA infrastructure, to set up RPA infrastructure, RPA infrastructure. And one more question. So tell me which RPA architecture is better. So which RPA architecture we have to consider. Tell me which RPA architecture we have to consider. What type of use cases are suitable to automate? What type of use cases are categories suitable to automate? What kind of use cases are categories suitable to automate? What kind of use cases are categories suitable to automate, right? These are the some of the questions which you have to understand before going to RPA projects. And one more question, with your experience, with your experience, tell me what are the challenges you have faced. Tell me what are the challenges you have faced in RPA projects. With your experience, tell me what are the challenges you have faced in RPA projects. With your experience, tell me what are the challenges you have faced in RPA projects. And one more question, you know, till now, till now, how many processes are automated? Till now, how many processes are automated, or how many use cases are automated? Give few use cases as give last three use cases. Explain last three use cases or processes. Explain last three use cases which you have automated. Explain last three use cases which you have automated. Explain last three use cases which you have automated. These are the some of the questions which you have to understand. Then only you are fit to RPA project. You should know answers to these questions, right? So now, I'm going to cover. So next 2 hours, I'm going to explain you, which tool is better and why. Which tool is better and why. Okay, all these points I will cover, your journey, so don't worry. So which tool is better and why the tool is better, that is what my discussion point. Okay, so before going to explain you that, I want to know from you which tool is better, what is your analysis. So which tool is better, which RPA tool is better, you know we have to give presentation on this topic, because whenever clients think about RPA implementation, whenever clients get an idea about RPA implementation, they are also getting confused. They also have their own IT team. They do little bit R&D on RPA implementation. They will try to explore which tool is better and all. They are getting confused. They're coming back to our company. They're coming back to RPA capability team, and they're asking us, Ramna, suggest me which tool is better. Or RPA team, they're sending an email. They're expecting logical conclusion before adopting a tool, because as I showed you, so once you see, there is a licensing cost, setup cost, implementation cost, support cost. Multiple costs are involved in RPA project. It is not like a open source implementation. It's not like a free implementation. Right? You have to develop, you have to take license, you have to set up, you have to run. Means support cost. So which tool is better? Why the tool is better? Okay. So right. So now in next 2 hours, I'm going to explain you various tools available in the market, various RPA tools available in the market, and differences among these tools. And we identify leading tools for RPA implementation, and we know list out the attributes. So we'll discuss parameters. So list out the attributes that make a RPA tool effective for the business, and how RPA tools are evaluating. So there is a criteria to evaluate the RPA tool. On what basis we have done that evaluation, right? So this discussion is not for openings, right? This is discussion is for which tool is better to implementation in the real time, because so many RPA vendors are available in the market now, and this number is growing like anything. So this analysis is done 2015 somewhere in December. So there is a company called Everest Group. This company has done this RPA analysis. So Everest Group is there. So there is an Everest Group. They have done this research. So Everest RPA research. See, this Everest company is one of the research company, in the market. They have done this research on RPA, tools. If you want this material, so which I am explaining you, if you have a time, you want to become a master in RPA, okay, so which tool is better? These guys has done lot of analysis. They come up with different parameters. Here you see, so Blue Prism, they have done lot of analysis on all these RPA tools. Which tool is better? So you go through this website. It is they have published this report free of cost. You can download this report and you can read. Okay, so and currently this is only the baseline research report in RPA. From that research report, I am trying to give some of the points here. So I'm going to cover RPA differences with respect to multiple aspects. I'm going to talk about technical aspect, commercials, product features. So I'm going to talk about different angles. Which tool is better, right? So let us say we'll go point by point. Which tool is better? Let us go with, before going to talk about technical aspects, I want to show you what are the different tools available in the market first. Then what parameters we have to consider to automate. These are the different popular RPA technology companies, and these are the RPA tools. This is the company name. and this is the RPA tool name. So Automation Anywhere is the company name. They have a product called Automation Anywhere Enterprise. Blue Prism, Skeleton is the company name, and they have a product called InStream. So Excellent, they have a product called WorkFusion. Nice is one company name which have a product called Robotic Automation. And now OpenSpan is acquired by Pega. As I told you, this is 2015 December research report. That is one of the baseline report as of now in the market. UiPath, no, formerly they called it as a Discover. Now the company name also they changed it to UiPath. IPsoft is the company name. They have a tool called Emilia. Xerox is the company name, and they have a tool called XCA and XCM. Right? So these are the technology vendors, and these are the products. So all these tools are having openings in the market. Even there are some other tools also like Nice, Jacada. There are so many tools. So at least you need to understand these are some of the popular tools in the market. Coming to coming to basic I mean main most popular tools in the market are Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, UiPath, and OpenSpan. So currently market is talking at these four tools, and Nice is also good tool. WorkFusion, these are the first six, at least you have to remember. So tell me the six RPA tools. So Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, UiPath, OpenSpan, Nice, WorkFusion. Nice, WorkFusion. These are the six tools. So and all these tools follow almost same architecture, same security, same kind of mechanism. Just there will be a difference in the front end part only. How we automate, each tool has its own configuration. So these are the popular tools in the RPA industry, right? So what are the different RPA tools? So if you want, you can write down. Anyway, we are going to give you this document hard copy, but if you want, you can write down. So what are the RPA tools? Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, InStream, Fusion, Robotic Automation, OpenSpan, Win Automation, UiPath, Emilia, XA and XCL. One more point I will tell you. In Accenture, they have their own tool called ARP, Accenture Robotic Platform. Like this, now companies started developing their own tools also. Even Microsoft has Microsoft RPA tool. See, they have their tool called ARP. So Accenture Robotic Process Automation. No, they use other tools also, but they have their own ARP tool. See, they have implemented a lot of scenarios in ARP. So they Accenture especially invested huge amounts on RPA, and Accenture has taken up so many projects on RPA. Currently, Genpact, Accenture, Virtusa, Capgemini, JBMC. See, almost all companies are doing pilots now, but most of the companies already implemented, and Accenture is having more than 1,000 employees in robotic process automation platform already. They're actively hiring the more people also. Right. So these are the different RPA tools. RPA tools can be, so the discussion is comparison, right? Which tool is better? On what basis you are comparing? On what basis you are comparing? So let's go with first parameter. So we'll go with different parameters. Otherwise, you will get confused. So we'll try to compare RPA tools with different parameters. Parameter one, type of data it handles. Type of data the handled. So there are three types of data. So generally, we deal with three types of data in our real life. In any project, if you go to any user, we deal with three types of data. One is unstructured data, semi structured data, structured data. This is one parameter you have to consider before selecting the RPA tool. Let's say you are trying to select the RPA tool for a hospital. First understand the data, what kind of data they are trying to automate. What kind of data they're trying to automate? Is it unstructured data? Is it semi-structured data? Is it structured data? What is example for structured data? So data in the database. What is example for semi-structured data? Dates, names of the cities. Unstructured data, content of a document or emails. Okay, based on type of data, let's say your company has more unstructured data, then which tool is better? Your process, or at least think at a process level. You are trying to automate one process called patient records automation. You have patient records in scanned documents. We want to automate that scenario. So I want to automate patient records. So patient records automation, what type of data it is? So unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. So it's unstructured data. Patient records are not in a proper Excel format. So it is called unstructured data. So whenever a process is given to you for automation, first you need to analyze data part. So each process has different process steps. Each process has different process steps. So each process step might require a input of data. What type of data it is? So based on the type of data it handles, which RPA tool is better? That is our discussion. Based on the type of data it handles, which RPA tool is better? That point I am going to discuss now. See this. So processes to handle unstructured data, processes to handle semi-structured data, processes to handle structured data. So automation anywhere is very strong in handling structured data. Automation anywhere is a process which can handle structured data. Even Blue Prism is also very strong in handling the structured data. See, this is high. If you have this color, that indicates high. If you have this color, that means very low. So Blue Prism and automation anywhere, are very low or poor in automating unstructured data, semi-structured data, but these tools are very strong in automating the structured data. And coming to in-stream tool, see this tool is very strong in automating the unstructured data. So for example, your process has more unstructured data, then which tool is better to select? In-stream. Like this, you need to give a logical conclusion which tool is better to automate. Right? But even in-stream tool will fail to handle structured data. It is so strong in handling the unstructured data. See one more tool called Work Fusion. So Work Fusion is strong in handling the structured data, but at least when compared to Blue Prism automation anywhere, it is not very low in terms of handling the unstructured data. Work Fusion is also one of the good tool in RPA. Work Fusion, because by using Work Fusion you can automate structured data, even you can use it for unstructured data. It is not very low to handle unstructured data. And one more tool called Nice. Here you see Nice. Robotic Automation is the Nice is the company name. They have a tool called Robotic Automation. This is also relatively strong in handling the structured data. OpenSpan. Okay, Win Automation is one of the early tool in RPA, which is developed by a soft motive company. In Cognizant company, there are dedicated projects in Win Automation. UiPath, no, UiPath is also, we are expecting UiPath will become number one very soon, because the volume of the openings are growing for UiPath day by day. Companies are adopting UiPath because it is cheaper licensing cost, and there is a community edition, almost it is free of cost. If you go to UiPath website, See, these tools are giving a lot of training materials also to you. So they are providing community edition is free of cost. You can go to RPA platform. See, you can directly download RPA Studio, Robot, Orchestrator, all these things, and you can start working on it. So in coming days, so many companies will definitely adopt RPA UiPath, because even if you go to Naukri also, so many openings are there for UiPath now, because we are getting lot of requirements for UiPath from different companies. So 3 days ago, senior software engineer required, opening for UiPath developer in Chennai location. Uh, so UiPath is will become number one very soon. It may not take more time. Currently, the market is good for UiPath and less number of resources available. So let's move on to. So this is one area. You can see a company called IPsoft, and they have a product called Emilia. Emilia is very strong in unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. But why you are not learning Emilia? License cost is $250,000. 2 lakh, and it has some limitations also. Not only licensing cost, it has some limitations also. Based on the type of the data which is handled, which tool is better. Emilia is number one, ranked as number one in, it can support unstructured data, semi structured data, structured data. But there are different other activities also. So this is one parameter is, assessment of the tools can be done based on the type of the data can be handled. Any questions? Any questions on this point? If you decide a process to be automated, first of all, do assessment of the tool. And the second point is the second parameter. So I'm moving towards the second parameter. Parameter one is type of data. Parameter two, type of the processes supported. Means these are the different process categories. These are the different process categories. There are some processes in the business which needs direct interaction with the people. Example, help desk or chat, customer care. There are some back office processes which needs back office finance and administrative process. There are some processes which needs business forms data processing. There are some processes which needs incoming document processing, contact center agent. So like this, based on the type of process you are using. So this is the process category. This is the data type of the data. This is the category of the process. This is the category of the process. But you have a process which has different process steps, and each step belongs to different category. That means step 1, it needs understanding of the human voice. Step 2, load the data. Step 3, understand the human text chart. Step 4, monitor the data. So if based on the process and its categories, based on the process steps, based on the process steps. For example, I have a process. All the steps are just load the data, and so all the steps doesn't require any human interaction. So we have to analyze the process which you are going to automate. You need to understand what category of process it is. Is this process requires human interaction? Is this process requires data loading? Is this process requires monitoring? Is this process requires email receiving? We have to understand the process steps and the category of the process, and the category of the process. Based on this, you can select the tool. Based on this, you select the tool. It is not like first you select Blue Prism, then try to use Blue Prism for all the processes. That is not the correct method of selecting the tool. First you analyze the process steps, types of process, categories of process, then you select the tool. That's why we are asking you to learn multiple tools, because scenario to scenario, clients may use different tools in future. One company, one client, let's say Bank of America, they might deploy Blue Prism and automation where both. For certain set of processes they may use Blue Prism, certain set of processes they may use another tool. So type of processes supported: direct interaction with the people, back office, line of business, incoming document processing. These are the different categories of the process. Let us try to understand which tool is better. See, this is process category 1. One-to-one interaction with the people. One-to-one interaction with the people. Okay, so that is giving a phone call, Skype call, direct face-to-face discussion with the people. For this, so most of the tools are very poor except IPsoft, Amelia. So Amelia is very strong in automating this process. What is the process? One-to-one interaction. But the weakness of Amelia is it cannot support other type of process steps. This is also one of the reasons why we are not learning Amelia now. This can be utilized in call centers, front office, help desk. You can deploy Emilia in the front office so it can understand the human interaction. Any front office related process can be automated by Emilia, but it is not strong in other features. Any confusion, any questions? See, back office process. Back office administrative process example means, so process the in hospital domain, patient record entry, loan processing entry in banking domain, claim processing in insurance domain. There are so many processes, so which require some back office activities. For this kind of things, you can go Blue Prism is in thick color. So Blue Prism is number one. Work Fusion is also very strong. Even Win Automation, UiPath, this tool is also strong. Even now automation even is also almost equal to Blue Prism. They added so many features. Product support is very good in automation. And we'll discuss those points. According to 2015 December survey, this is the answer. Loan processing, claim processing, data entry. These kind of processes can be automated by automation where Blue Prism, Workfusion, UiPath. But can we use Emilia for back office automation? No. So the best solution, integrate Emilia with Blue Prism. Integrate Emilia with Blue Prism. So Emilia can automate front office, Blue Prism can automate back office. If you are able, if your client is able to do that, in that is the best automation scenario in the world as of now. Emilia integration to Blue Prism. In my company, I have not involved on that directly, but one of the team is working on that use case. Emilia integration to Blue Prism. At least chatbot integration to Blue Prism. Chatbot. So chatbot, right? So chatbot means where chatbot can understand your text. Emilia can understand voice. Chatbot can understand the text. See, in any front office system, a customer comes to our office, or a customer may give a call to your office. There are only two scenarios: either text or voice. Front office means text or voice. That can be automated by chatbots, and cognitive tools are there. So there are a line of business forms and data processing. Line of business forms and data processing. So data processing also can be done by these tools. Automation with Blue Prism, Workfusion, Workfusion, and Win Automation, UiPath. So XC and XCM, these are some of the tools which are strong in line of business forms and form processing, data entry, document processing. So here you can see document processing, So in document processing, these tools are not so poor performance, but there is a tool called in-stream tool. This is very strong in document processing. Some, let's say, if you go to Vodafone or any Geo or Airtel, you have to submit, you have to give your documents, right? So where they do verification of the document, so where they do verification of the document. So this is one tool called in-stream tool. So this is very very powerful in document processing, but other tools are not like that. But contact center agent assistant. So contact center agent assistant means whenever you create a ticket, so you have some problem, you are a customer to bank, you have some problem, you will call to customer care. They will document the ticket number. Based on your problem, they have to provide some solution. For example, update your date of birth, update your address, some update some of the details. You give a call to customer care, tell them please update my address. That scenario can be easily automated by a RP. So any kind of simple tickets which are requested by the end users. So these are the some of the scenarios, where you can automate. These are some of the scenarios, some of the process categories. So based on the process category, you can select the right tool. So if someone asks you which RPA tool is better, so parameter one, parameter two. Like this, I'm going to talk about at least 10 parameters in today's class. So no need to by heart, no need to understand each point, but have a knowledge on these things may give you more picture in coming days in RPA journey. I'm going to compare RPA with so many parameters. Let's see, all these are the parameters. Which tool is better? There are so many parameters. I will try my level best to guide you. So I may not cover everything, but I will try to give you a comprehensive picture on which RPA tool is better to automate. So one thing at least you should understand, you should not go blindly. You should not go blindly. You have to select based on the parameters. But assessment, tools assessment will be done based on parameter. Type of data handled, type of processes supported. Yeah, you can select ETL. See, ETL tool purpose is loading the data from the database, extracting the data, loading the data. For example, my data is structured, but it is in web application front end. Can Informatica extract the data? Altogether, the tool's purpose is different. RPA tool interacts with presentation layer of the application like a human. So it can interact with any application, Excel, web, Outlook, SAP, mainframe, even any application, Teradata, any application. It can talk to any application presentation layer. Means, so as a user, you are the end user in a bank. What you are doing? Open Excel sheet, copy, load it to some other place. So RPA tools are not going to do a new thing. RPA tools exactly behaves like a human. It interacts with any application, extract the data from the presentation layer of that application. So that is the purpose of the RPA. But that information, if it is in structured data, our tools can easily automate. Structured data means the data is in web application, extract, load it into Excel sheet, copy the data from Excel sheet, put it in Outlook. If you have, that's what. If you have duplicates in the Excel, how humans are doing? You are a branch manager. You got a Excel. There are the duplicates. What you are doing? The same will be automated. RPA is not taking any decisions. You are the branch manager. Daily you are getting Excel sheet. If you, after getting the Excel sheet, what is your second step? Are you deleting duplicates? Then RPA tool will delete the duplicates. If you are not deleting the duplicates, will not. So exactly the manual steps are were automated. Again, you are in a different zone. You are a branch manager. What is your step one? What is your step two? What is your step three? What you are doing daily? There should be some manual process. Each process, each step, we are automated. If there is a duplicate record, what you are doing with that? You are a branch manager. How you are eliminating it? Same we follow. This tool is not an automation to delete duplicates. This tool is automating the manual process. So how you copy, how you load, how you monitor, how you are doing it manually, the same will be automated. What do you mean by? Yeah. So what do you mean by MetaBot? September 17th, 9:30. We'll discuss. So I have a specific agenda. I have to follow that. Okay. I will be taking total 4 weekends in RPA life cycle. 1 weekend life cycle. 1 weekend architecture and tools. 1 weekend projects. 1 weekend advanced concepts. Can we, yes, you can integrate. I mean, within RPA, see why you are integrating two tools which can do same work. ఇప్పుడు బ్లూ ప్రిజం ఆటోమేషన్ ఇవి రెండు ఒకే పని చేస్తాయి. ఆ రెండింటిని ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేసి మీరు ఏం సాధిస్తారు? You integrate chatbot with blue prism. You integrate Emilia with blue prism. That kind of integration you focus, because chatbot purpose is automating front office. Blue prism is strong in automating the back office. You try to integrate these two. So blue prism and automation anywhere, if you integrate, what is the advantage? Tell me the reason. Then we think about that. See, any tool can be integrated if the tool can expose it as a web service. బ్లూ ప్రిజం ఉంది. బ్లూ ప్రిజంలో నువ్వు స్క్రిప్ట్ రాసావు, దాన్ని నువ్వు వెబ్ సర్వీస్ కింద ఇవ్వగలవు అనుకో, దానికి దేంతో ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో అది నువ్వు వెబ్ సర్వీస్ కింద కన్వర్ట్ చేయలేవు అనుకో, దానికి ఏది కాల్ చేయలేదు, దేంతో ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేయగలము. అప్పుడు మనం దాన్ని ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేయాలంటే జావాలో ఇంకో కోడ్ రాయాలి దానికి. సో ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ అంటే ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఉండాలి దానికి. ఆ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ వెబ్ సర్వీస్ అయితే బెటర్, లేకపోతే మళ్ళీ కష్టం, మళ్ళీ జావా కోడ్ .NET కూడా రాయాలి దానికి. ఇక్కడ అడిగేది ఏంటంటే ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు బ్లూ ప్రిజంని ఆటోమేషన్ ఇవన్నీ ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేస్తే బెనిఫిట్ ఏమైనా ఉంది అనుకుంటే చేయొచ్చు, దానికి జావా కోడ్ రాసి. బట్ రియల్ టైంలో జరిగేది ఏంటంటే బ్లూ ప్రిజం విల్ బి ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ టు చాట్బాట్. సో చాట్బాట్ కెన్ ఆటోమేట్ ఫ్రంట్ ఆఫీస్, బ్లూ ప్రిజం కెన్ ఆటోమేట్ బ్యాక్ ఆఫీస్. Emulator, Emilia. Oh, there are tools available in the market. So as of now, Emilia is the leader. Emilia is the leader in that area. So there are some Nexus IT. There are other tools also available. Nexus kind of one tool is there. Yeah. Emilia 100% is for automating the voice process. Emilia can understand your emotion. You are the customer. You call to customer care. Your anger, your urgency, your happiness, your sadness. It will understand according to that. It will speak to you. Voice process cannot be automated by Blue Prism. That's what I told you, not by Emilian. So that is the reason you have to understand different processes first. So what process we are trying to automate, you have to understand first. Then which tool is better, we have to select. Then which, like, how many licenses we have to take, architecture, infrastructure, all these things you have to understand. Then how to automate, that is the build phase. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, I have a question from Bhargavi here. Does this support Pega application? Yes. You can automate any application, SAP, mainframe, any application. Pega application also. Pega has their own tool called OpenSpan. It is acquired by Pega now. OpenSpan. Um, Currently, according to our opinion, there are no openings on OpenSpan. So, robotic process automation. OpenSpan is one of the two which is acquired by Pega.